To you, Youmna.
Thank you, Linda. Our guest today is Mohammad Hijazi, who works as a digital marketing and social media consultant and runs an NGO called the Online Collaborative that aims to promote proper digital citizenship and usage of social media to the Lebanese community. The NGO holds conferences, workshops, events such as Geek Fest Beirut and the Social Media Awards. He was recently named one of the 30 talents under 30 by Communicate magazine. And I want to welcome you today. Thank you for being here. To top all your achievements, I know that you also participated in giving senior citizens courses about how to use computers, social media, and the iPad. What was that like?
Actually, that's amazing, and that's different than anything that we've done because we get to, learn from people who are above 50 years old, and on the other way that we teach them as well. So we feel that they're very eager to learn, the youth language, because, as they call it, because they have no idea what computers are or social media is, and it's like something that they watched grow, but they never participated in it until now.
Is it easy to deal with them, with senior citizens, as opposed to like students?
It's much different. It's much different than dealing with students, because with senior citizens there are things that you cannot do. You cannot tell them to be quiet, or you have to approach them in a way that's different in order to control the class.
I know you're very critical of the online and the offline community in Lebanon. Can you tell me why?
The online community basically is a reflection of the offline community, and we didn't know that prior to the social media awards. But possibly the most important outcome, which was also unexpected from the social media awards, is that we know what the Lebanese online community is like now.
So what is it like? What's the online community like?
A part full of support, and another part full of jealousy and hatred for people who are more successful, or at least doing things with their lives that are beyond just chatting or posting pictures. So there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of negative comments going on, bullying. So it's really stressful for being part of the online community on a daily basis. And as part of my job and part of who I am, I have to.
But do you think? I mean, there's hate everywhere. Do you remember Miss America, when who is has Indian origins? There were the most racist comments on Twitter after she was voted in as Miss America. So here in Lebanon, is there something different that you think is unique to Lebanon? With the hate and the jealousy, which you expect from a lot of people when people are successful.
But the thing is that you get the Lebanese mentality as well, which is much different than what you might face. There's discrimination, racism. There's also this difference in political opinion. So they all attribute that to whatever you're doing, even though it doesn't really relate. The whole point of the social media awards was to promote these people who are doing a great job online. But some people took it in another direction, and it wasn't really our intention.
I want to congratulate you on the social media awards.
Thank you a lot.
I know that was a huge thing to accomplish for Lebanon and to actually get through. We actually have pictures that they're going to show us right now about the social media awards and what it was like. I know a lot of entertainers were there, a lot of politicians were there, as well as diplomats. What was that like?
Well, it was amazing. For us, it took a lot of work, and it was very stressful.
How do you create your own show, your own award show?
Well,
Who does that?
There's so many details that go into it, and we try to be as objective as possible with getting good judges, with getting a fair process of voting, so that we don't get blamed of cheating or changing part of the votes. We even publicized all of the votes at the end of the social media awards, and there was a lot of details, a lot of partners, and I would really like to thank everyone who worked on it, because for months we did not sleep, we did not eat. It took a lot of our time.
I know a lot of people collaborate with social media on Lebanon. Can you tell me who is the most famous collaborator in terms of like entertainer or diplomat or even politician? Who was the most popular one, and why?
For me, the most my favorite diplomat on social media is HMA Tom Fletcher, who is a British ambassador to Lebanon, and he is very active and very engaging with what people do online, and he's very involved. So you can see him at a lot of tweet-ups. He comes and meets the tweets or the bloggers, and he's always very engaging.
You wrote in an article titled "Why Social Media Will Not Change the Arab World." You wrote, have you heard the Arabs have built the first ATM machine that dispenses gold bars, but they fail to utilize free services that can potentially change the lives of their citizens to the better. So you think also that a lot of the leaders in the Arab world are not utilizing social media correctly. What is it that you expect from them?
The whole point of social media is not to push news as traditional media. It's more like to engage with your I'm not going to say fan base, but maybe your supporters or even your people with a different opposing opinion, because this is where you know or you can feel what they want or what their feedback is. Politicians nowadays are either using it to attack each other online or as a source of pushing news whenever they want to correct something.
So there's something wrong. So how do you, not as you know, by yourself, but how do you make it better? What would you recommend in terms of like a possible feasible solution moving forward? Politicians towards their citizens.
Most politicians need to know how to utilize this and not just, you know, hire agencies to do it for them. Because if I'm getting an agency to do my social media as a politician, I can't really rely on what they're saying is true, and I can't be as fast as I want to be. They need to be engaging more. They need to actually learn the tactics, because social media is not just anything that you go on, you type a status or anything like that. You have to be more aware of what the community is like, what to expect from it. So they need, as everyone else, they need training on it as well.
I was reading the article which we're showing now, which you wrote on your own blog for Cloud961, which is also something that you collaborate with. The Arab governments and rich princes and rulers should invest in seeding educational campaigns instead of wasting their citizens' money on buying themselves luxury cars and summer castles in Europe. If you're going to go to Europe, you might as well stay in a summer castle.
You know, well, there's always hotels.
What if the hotels are fully booked?
They're never fully booked.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. How do you obviously see there's a problem with also the rulers of the country, and I know you were talking about this because of the Arab Spring. Social media seems to be the new medium all the citizens are using in order to get their messages across. You say, however, it's not enough.
Definitely it's not enough, because if the politicians are changing, or if they have a different mentality right now, there wouldn't be active revolutions to opposing them in most of the Arab countries. So, you know, I'm pessimistic about social media because it's not the only thing that's going to lead, you know, lead the change. It's only one part, and since everything else is still stopped or, you know, still delayed, it's not going to do a big change, and that's why I'm a bit pessimistic.
You're going to have to come back and talk to us more when the social medias kick, and definitely to give us more info and more encouragement and advice on how to use it. And thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for
listening. That was the social media consultant of Lebanon, as I like to call him, Mr. Mohammad Hijazi. Back to you, Linda.